There is a feeling you have carried since you were a child that you have never been able to name. It isn't sadness, exactly. It isn't loneliness, though loneliness is woven through it like a thread you cannot pull free. It is something quieter than either of those words, something older. It is the sensation of standing in the middle of your own life and feeling, with a certainty that no one around you seems to share, that you are watching it happen to someone else. Like you arrived in the wrong century, like you stepped into the wrong body in the wrong world, and have been politely performing normalcy ever since, hoping no one looks close enough to see that the mask doesn't quite fit. You have felt it at dinner tables, surrounded by people laughing at things you cannot make yourself care about. You have felt it at 3 a.m, sitting with a weight in your chest that no doctor has ever been able to diagnose and no prescription has ever been able to dissolve. You have felt it standing in an open field at dusk, when the light goes golden and the world goes briefly, terrifyingly still. And for one unguarded second, the membrane between this life and something you cannot name goes dangerously thin. And you feel it. That echo, that hum, that crushing, inexplicable nostalgia for a place you have never been in this lifetime. In the quiet corridors of the great library, we find the transcripts that explain this ache. We see the records of thousands who sat in Dolores Cannon's chair, their eyes closed, their conscious minds stepped aside. And what spoke through them, in the somnambulistic state, was not the small story of one lifetime. It was something enormous, something that contradicts nearly everything we were taught about why we are here and what this life is for. They spoke of a quickening. They spoke of a splitting of the ways. They spoke of a new earth. But more than anything else, more than any cosmic map or ancient calendar, they spoke of you. You've carried a sense of loneliness, like a second skin, your entire life. Since childhood, you have looked at the sky and felt like a visitor rather than a resident. You have felt a destiny, a heavy, silent, unnamed weight, sitting just beneath your sternum, that you could never quite locate. You were told it was anxiety. You were told it was sensitivity. You were told it was an overactive imagination that would calm down. Once you got older, once you got busier, once you learned to stop looking so hard. As we pull the leather-bound volumes of the convoluted universe from the shelf, what we find is that your so-called alienation was never a disorder. It was a calibration. Your frequency was set to a signal this world had not yet learned to broadcast. We are entering 2026, the threshold. Dolores pointed toward in her final years. The window, her subjects described with a consistency so striking it cannot be dismissed. The physical body is changing. The heart races for no reason you can name. Sleep brings dreams more architecturally vivid than the waking day. There is an emotional contradiction pulling at your chest like two opposing tides, a deep, vertiginous terror of everything dissolving. And beneath it, quiet as a heartbeat, a soaring relief that the old way is finally crumbling. You were chosen to be an anchor for this transition, not by accident, not by luck, Before you were born into this body planning stage, you stood at a threshold and you said yes. You saw what this life would cost. You saw the loneliness. You saw the years of carrying something you couldn't explain. You saw the relationships that would break you and the identities you would have to outlive. And you said yes anyway, because you understood. With the full clarity of a soul not yet blinded by incarnation, that the earth needed precisely the frequency you carried. But as we look at the notes hidden in the margins of these sessions, the transcripts Dolores found most difficult to integrate, the ones she returned to in her final lectures with a reverence she rarely showed, a question emerges that is harder to sit with than any of the answers. There is a detail, a specific thread, woven through hundreds of late sessions that changes the frame of everything we think we know about why the shift feels so violent. About why the volunteers, the very souls who came to hold the frequency of the new earth, are also the ones most likely to feel as though they are coming apart entirely. The subjects in the deepest trance states did not describe the Earth's transition as something happening out there, in the stars, in the headlines, in some distant collective event. They described it as something happening inside the human nervous system, inside the spine, inside the DNA. They described a rewriting, active, physical, cellular, that the body was undergoing right now, in the middle of ordinary life without anesthetic and without warning. The fatigue you feel is not a lack of sleep. It is the electrical load of a new timeline attempting to ground itself through your body. And what Dolores discovered next, in the final sessions of her life, the ones she called the most extraordinary she had ever conducted, changed everything she believed about why souls volunteer for Earth at all. Welcome to Awakening Archives. We are the archivists, and you are the viewer. And together we stand in this sacred space, where time does not move in a straight line. It moves in spirals. Each revolution returns you to the same essential question, but from a higher vantage point here, among the mahogany shelves and the scent of aged parchment. We do one thing. We filter the noise of the world to find the signal of the soul. This is not a place of instruction. We are not here to teach you anything that is not already living inside you. What we offer is resonance, the specific quality of attention that allows what is buried to surface. The understanding you are about to encounter is not new information entering from the outside. It is old knowledge being recognized from within. There is a difference, and you will feel it. This is a safe harbor for the awakening, the experiences you have had that no one in your life has ever quite had language for. The knowing, the sensitivity, the strange grief, the inexplicable memories, the sense of being watched over by something patient and vast. They are the standard operating procedure for the kind of soul you are. They are not symptoms. They are credentials. Dolores Cannon spent 40 years in these stacks. She pulled thousands of transcripts from the deepest possible layer of human consciousness. And she spent the last years of her life trying to tell us what she found. We are continuing that work now. Let us walk deeper into the stacks. In this session, we are going to move beyond the surface layer of what most people know about the new Earth and the volunteer souls. We will examine the mechanics of the 2026 timeline, not as a map of territory, but as a map of frequency. We will go deeper than the 3 waves into what Dolores called the simultaneous self, the version of you that already exists on the new Earth that is actively pulling you forward through the static of this accelerating moment. You will understand why your dreams feel like memories. You will understand why certain knowledge lives in you that you never studied for. We will look directly at the physical evidence of the shift, the symptoms your body is producing that medicine cannot explain. And we will show you exactly what those symptoms mean and why they are not a malfunction but an upgrade. We will address the most unsettling concept in Dolores's deeper work, the backdrop people, and what the thinning of the timelines means for the relationships in your life that are quietly becoming unrecognizable. And at the center of it all, we will open the final drawer, the revelation from Dolores's last sessions about the DNA trigger, the secret agreement your soul made before this life began, and the true nature of the suffering you have carried. By the end of this session, your pain will not look like damage. It will look like a doorway. Stay until the last page. What is waiting? There was place there for you. We turn our attention to a specific shelf, the multidimensional records. And we need to begin here, because while many people are familiar with the broad concept of the volunteer waves, Dolores Cannon's deeper work, particularly in the Convoluted Universe series, reveals a layer of the mission that most conversations never reach. You are not simply a soul from somewhere else visiting Earth for a difficult incarnation. That is the first layer of the story. The deeper layer is this. You are a vast, multidimensional consciousness that is currently having an enormous number of experiences simultaneously. The life you are living right now, with its specific grief, its specific longing, its specific feeling of being poised on the edge of something enormous, is one facet of a diamond that contains. Dolores's subjects consistently described hundreds or thousands of other facets, other lives, other timelines, other expressions of the same soul playing out across what we experience as past, present, and future, but which at the soul level exist all at once. This is why the veil is thinning in 2026. Not because the universe is becoming more mystical, but because the architecture of the shift itself is designed to allow the other facets of your consciousness to begin bleeding through. The dreams that feel like memories are memories of parallel selves of simultaneous lives. The skills you possess that you never studied for belong to another expression of you that has already walked that path. The deep knowing that arrives fully formed without a logical chain of reasoning behind it is information transmitted from a version of yourself operating at a frequency this life has not yet reached. Dolores called these soul system busters. a specific subset of volunteers who came not merely to hold a frequency, but to actively disrupt the calcified patterns of the old paradigm, to arrive inside the system's logic and, from within it, break the code. System busters tend to have the hardest lives. They tend to encounter the most resistance, the most structural opposition, the most inexplicable obstacles in areas where other people move freely. This is not bad luck. It is the predictable consequence of a consciousness that arrived specifically to challenge what was never supposed to be challenged. In the transcripts of the convoluted universe, subjects describe their individual lives as the focus life, the singular point in the spiral of all their simultaneous incarnations, where the stakes are highest and the potential for transformation is most concentrated. This is the life that all other versions of you are watching. The shift that happens in this specific lifetime, in this specific body, in this specific 2026 window, does not affect only you. It pulls the entirety of your soul's lineage with it. When you move into the new earth frequency, every expression of your consciousness across every timeline moves with you. The implications of that are staggering if you sit with them long enough. You chose this life knowing it would be the focus life. You chose the specific parents who would give you the specific wounds that would produce the specific depth of compassion required. You chose the particular flavor of your loneliness, the particular architecture of your loss. The records show, and Dolores returned to this point with an emphasis that bordered on urgency in her final years, that the volunteers did not choose difficult lives out of masochism or divine punishment. They chose them the way a master craftsperson chooses the most demanding material, because the most demanding material, worked with skill and patience, produces the most extraordinary result. The fatigue you feel is not a sign that something is wrong with you. In the transcripts, the higher self described it with an image that is impossible to forget. You are doing the work of 1,000 lifetimes in the span of one afternoon. Every moment of exhaustion is the closing of a karmic loop that may have been open for centuries. Every night of incomprehensible tiredness is a density clearing event. Old material from your ancestral line, your soul's broader history, the collected weight of every experience across every simultaneous life, being processed through this single physical body in the compressed window of a single human lifetime. Be gentle with yourself, not as a platitude, as an instruction from the archives. The volunteer did not arrive to be a hero in the cinematic sense. They arrived to be a bridge, and a bridge, by definition, must hold the weight of everything crossing it, often in both directions at once. What you have interpreted as your collapse has frequently been your load-bearing. What you have experienced as falling apart has been, in the deeper record, the act of holding everything together for others, whose capacity to hold it had already been exhausted. The records know what you have been carrying. The records know what it cost. And the records, the thousands of transcripts stacked in the archive of this life's work, say something that no one around you may have ever said directly to you. You have done well. let us talk about what it has actually felt like, not in the abstract, in the body, in the years. Does it not feel as though you have been wearing a heavy lead suit your entire life? Not metaphorically, literally, in the body, a pervasive weight that other people do not seem to be carrying. You watch them move through their days with a lightness that confounds you. Simple social interactions that appear to cost them nothing leave you needing hours of recovery. Environments that others find energizing, crowds, offices, busy social gatherings, register in your nervous system as something closer to emergency. You were not built for the frequency of the old world. You were built for something that does not yet have a name in most human languages. Dolores' subjects described what she came to call the wave profile, the cluster of sensory and emotional characteristics that appeared consistently across volunteer souls regardless of their background, age, or belief system. Hypersensitivity to sound, hypersensitivity to light, the emotions of other people entering your body as though they were your own without permission and without warning. A nervous system so finely calibrated that the world in its current density registers as a continuous mild assault. You were told this was a disorder. The archive has a different word for it: precision. Your nervous system was designed for a frequency that the old world cannot produce. Of course, it registers the old world as noise. It was tuned to receive a signal that is only now beginning to broadcast clearly. There is also the question of the people around you, and this is where the archive opens a drawer that many find the most unsettling of all. In Dolores' deeper work, particularly in the later volumes of the Convoluted Universe, she began documenting a phenomenon her subjects described with increasing frequency and increasing specificity. As the sessions moved into the 2000s, they called them, in various ways, in various languages, the backdrop people, individuals who appear to be fully present in reality, but are, in the deeper architecture of the shift, functioning as placeholders for the old paradigm. Not soulless in any cruel or dismissive sense, but operating from a layer of consciousness that is deeply, structurally committed to the continuation of the old frequency scripted by survival, anchored in the logic of a world that is, in the sessions, consistent description, actively losing its power source. As the 2026 timeline accelerates, you may find that people you have known for years, people you have loved, people who were once genuinely connected to your frequency, are becoming, in a way you cannot precisely explain, less legible to you. Not colder, not crueler, simply less present in the way that presence used to feel. As though a light behind their eyes that you were accustomed to navigating by has quietly dimmed. This is the source of a specific loneliness that is almost impossible to describe to someone who has not felt it. You are standing in a room full of people and realizing, with a grief that has no clear object, that you are speaking a language they can no longer hear. You have felt a version of this your entire life, since childhood. That bone-deep awareness of the gap between the world as it is being presented and the world as you can feel it actually to be. This sensitivity was your frequency filter. It prevented you from fully integrating into the old paradigm, from becoming so absorbed in the old signal that when the new one arrived, you would have been unable to receive it. Your higher self has been actively managing the composition of your environment for precisely this purpose. The relationships that ended inexplicably, the careers that collapsed at their apparent peak, the isolations that arrived without warning, These were not random cruelties, they were calibrations, each one pulling you slightly further free of the old frequency, preparing you for a resonance that required you to be unencumbered. Think of the physical symptoms now with new eyes. The ringing in the ears that no audiologist can explain. Your internal radio searching for the new Earth signal. The food intolerances that appeared from nowhere. Your body demanding lighter fuel for a cellular transition that is already underway. The episodes of vertigo that arrive without physiological cause. Your consciousness momentarily slipping into the parallel timeline, where the shift has already occurred, where the version of you that arrived first is waiting with a patience and a warmth you have not yet allowed yourself to feel. You are a lighthouse. That is the image. Dolores' subjects return to most consistently when describing the role of the frequency holder in the 2026 window. A lighthouse does not chase ships through the storm. It does not exhaust itself trying to be visible. It stands at its fixed point and shines. The ships find it because they are looking for exactly what it is already being. That is your only instruction. Be precisely, unmistakably what you are. The ships are already on their way. Why does 2026 feel different? Why does this particular window feel like standing at the edge of a cliff in the dark, certain that something is below you, but unable to see whether it is solid ground or open air? We pull a volume from a shelf near the back of the archive, the one labeled The Collapse of Linear Time in Dolores' later work. She offered an image for how time actually functions that her subjects had described to her in session after session. In language so consistent, it eventually stopped surprising her. Time, they said, is not a line. It is an accordion for millennia, for the entire span of recorded human history. It has been stretched thin, pulled taut into the illusion of a sequential, causal reality where past leads to present, leads to future in a single predictable direction. Now the accordion is snapping back. The compression is happening. And what you feel is the acceleration of 2026. That sense that time is moving differently. That years are passing in months and months in days. Is not a psychological distortion. It is an accurate perception of something physically real. The new Earth timeline is the path of the soul that has mastered the present moment, not as a spiritual concept, not as a meditation practice, but as a literal frequency, the only frequency compatible with the space the Earth is entering. The old world, the world of chronic future planning, of worth earned through endless doing, of identity built on the accumulation of external validation, is a hologram that is losing its power source. Its signal is degrading. Those who remain anchored to the old frequency will find. The transcripts suggest not punishment but friction, an increasing bone-deep resistance in everything they attempt. A sense of pushing against something invisible that grows heavier with every passing month. This is the source of the collective burnout that is visible everywhere in 2026. It is not merely sociological. It is metaphysical. You cannot use third-dimensional tools to navigate a space that is no longer operating at third-dimensional frequency. The toolkit that built the old world, competition, control, the suppression of feeling in the name of productivity, is not just ineffective in the new space. It is actively counterproductive. It creates drag. It creates the specific, exhausting sense of running in place that so many people are describing, and so few can explain. The soul mission urgency vibrating in the collective field right now is not anxious energy. It is accurate information. The volunteers did not come here to repair the old system. They came to outgrow it, to demonstrate in their actual lives that a different frequency is not only possible but livable. The splitting of the ways described across Dolores' late sessions is not a physical catastrophe, not a geological event or a political collapse, though those may accompany it. It is a frequency divergence, a point at which two timelines that have been overlapping in the same physical space for decades are finally separating along the fault line of consciousness. With every thought you choose, you are voting. With every moment you choose presence over panic, love over the need to be right, stillness over the compulsion to react. You are casting your frequency onto one side of that line. And the consequences of that choice are not abstract. They are the actual texture of the life you wake up into tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. The consequences of ignoring the call are not punishment in any theological sense. They are something quieter, and in some ways harder to bear. Continuation. The loop does not break. The lesson does not complete. The curriculum you have already finished at enormous personal cost repeats itself until the weight of repetition becomes undeniable. But you, reading this, feeling this, you have already finished the curriculum. The records are unambiguous on this point. You did not find your way to this archive by accident. Nothing in the path of a volunteer is accidental. The specific convergence of your specific life with this specific moment of transmission is not coincidence. It is the system working exactly as it was designed. The window is open. It will not be open indefinitely, and standing at the threshold is its own kind of decision. What the archive needs you to understand, what the final sessions contain, what we have been building toward since the first line of this record, goes deeper than mission, deeper than frequency, deeper than any cosmic framework the mind can construct. What is waiting in the deepest drawer of the archive is personal. It has always been personal. We must pause here, because everything we have covered, the simultaneous self, the wave profile, the backdrop transition, the collapse of linear time, all of it is the outer architecture, the scaffolding around the building, and the building itself, the actual structure at the center of everything. Dolores' final sessions pointed toward has not yet been opened. In the later volumes of the convoluted universe, there were references to a specific discovery Dolores described as the most difficult material she had ever encountered. Not dark. She was always careful to clarify that not frightening, but dense with implication in a way that required years to fully integrate what she found in the deepest sessions of her career. was evidence of a secondary encoding in the DNA of the volunteer souls, a trigger that had been dormant for the entirety of their lives, designed to activate at a precise external threshold. That threshold is 2026. But here is the thing the outer layer of the archive does not tell you. The DNA trigger is not the real reason your soul came here. The real reason is something far more intimate and far more shattering than any cosmic mission. Beneath the mission, beneath the frequency work, beneath the DNA activation and the timeline anchoring and the crystalline restructuring, the deepest sessions reveal something that Dolores said she had not been prepared to find, something she described as the most humbling discovery of her career. The volunteers did not come only for the Earth, they came for each other. In the pre-birth planning sessions, in the records Michael Newton compiled of souls preparing to incarnate, there are agreements that go beyond individual mission, soul-level contracts of recognition, agreements to find each other, in the density and the forgetting, and to remind each other of what is real. Not through grand gestures or cosmic proclamations, through the ordinary, irreplaceable act of being genuinely present to another person's experience in a world that has largely forgotten how. Every person whose life you have touched with your authentic frequency, every stranger who left a conversation with you feeling inexplicably more like themselves, every moment you held space for someone else's pain without flinching, without fixing, without retreating into the comfortable distance of advice. That was the mission. Not the cosmic one, the intimate one. The one that does not make it into the books because it does not look dramatic enough from the outside. You are not only here to hold the frequency of the new Earth in some abstract transmitter sense. You are here to be the living demonstration that love, in this density, in this world, in this body, under these specific conditions is possible. Not as a concept, not as a future aspiration, as a present, embodied, daily, costly, magnificent reality. The relief you feel right now, that involuntary exhale, that thing in your chest that is threatening to become something you might call tears, that is not sentimentality. That is your soul recognizing the truth it has been trying to tell you through every painful year of a life you sometimes thought was a mistake. It was never a mistake. Not one moment of it. The council that was present at your pre-birth planning, the beings described across guides, the elders, the keepers of the soul's record. They are described in those transcripts with a consistency that is almost unnerving. They are described as watching the volunteers on Earth, not with concern or pity, but with something closer to awe. They see the lead suit you have been wearing. They see the weight of what you agreed to carry. They see every moment you chose love, when fear would have been easier, and every morning you stood back up, when staying down would have been completely understandable. And the sessions describe them as having, for the volunteers in this specific window, a reverence that would, the subjects consistently said, break your heart to feel directly. because you do not see yourself the way they see you. You see the struggle. They see the mastery. You see the cost. They see the completed work. You are not behind. You are not falling short. You are not a spiritual aspirant still reaching for something above you. You are a master soul at the precise moment of the work you were built for, reading the confirmation that your deeper self has been trying to deliver to your conscious mind for your entire life. The DNA is activating. The crystalline structure is forming. The timeline is anchoring through your body, your choices, your willingness to stay present in a world that gives you every reason to shut down. You are the new earth, not the destination, not the symbol, the actual living, breathing, walking, grieving, loving, enduring embodiment of the frequency this planet is becoming. The ice is breaking. The chains are falling. And you, precisely, specifically, irreplaceably you, are the reason the light has somewhere to land. We want to sit in this space with you for a moment before we close the session. What has just been shared is not content in the ordinary sense of that word. It is not information that enters the mind and gets filed away with everything else. What Dolores Cannon spent 40 years uncovering, what we have just walked through together in the corridors of this archive, is a mirror. And the recognition you feel, or the resistance, or the particular complicated mixture of both that is almost certainly moving through you right now, all of it is the soul in conversation with itself. We want to hear from you, not in the hollow, algorithmic sense of an engagement metric, in the sense that Dolores heard from her subjects, with the full weight of genuine attention, the understanding that every testimony matters, that every personal account adds something to the collective record that nothing else can replicate. So tell us below, which wave do you feel you belong to? The first wave, the ones who arrived earliest and hit the density hardest, whose lives have been marked by an inexplicable suffering that began before they had language for it. The second wave, the quiet channels, the ones who shift rooms without knowing it, who carry a loneliness that feels almost like a vocation. The third wave, the ones who arrived already knowing, who have been frustrated their entire lives by the gap between what this world is and what they can feel it could be. Or tell us something more specific. Tell us which moment in this session found the thing in you that needed to be found. Tell us if the backdrop people resonated. If you have felt that strange, ungriefable distance opening between yourself and people you used to feel close to. Tell us if the DNA activation language matches something physical you have been experiencing and could not explain. Tell us about the lead suit. Tell us about the grief that has no object. Tell us, if you are willing, about the moment you first felt that you did not belong in this world, and whether, after today, that feeling is beginning to look different. Your words in this space are not small. Someone is going to find this session at the exact moment their old world is collapsing, and their new one has not yet shown itself. Someone, in the first terrifying week of their awakening, looking for any evidence that what is happening to them is a beginning rather than an ending. They may need the exact words that only you can put here. The archive is not built from what we find in the transcripts alone. It is built from what you confirm in the records below. Leave your testimony. The archivists are listening, and so is the version of you that agreed before this life began to make sure that you found your way to exactly this moment. We do this slowly, always. Not with a hard cut back to the ordinary world. Not with an abrupt return to the noise outside the archive doors. What we walk through today deserves a proper threshold. A real moment of transition before you carry it back into the texture of your life. You came in here carrying something. Perhaps you did not know exactly what it was. Perhaps you came because the algorithm placed this in your path and something in you said yes, before your conscious mind formed a reason. That is not accident Dolores' work. The whole vast architecture of it, 40 years of sessions, 20 books, thousands of testimonies, is unanimous on this one point. There are no accidents in the paths of the volunteers. Every synchronicity is a breadcrumb. Every moment of recognition is the deeper self tapping on the glass from the inside. You are not browsing, you are navigating. The world you step back into will look the same as it did before you arrived here. The traffic will be the same. The news will be doing what the news does. The people around you will be having the same conversations they were having an hour ago. And you may find, in the first few minutes after this ends, that the familiar weight returns, the old questions, the old doubt, the persistent whisper, that nothing you feel inside is as real or as significant as the external world keeps insisting it is not. Let that come, and then let it pass, because something has shifted in the reading of these records, even if the shift is quiet. A piece of the map is now visible that was not visible before, and you cannot unsee a map. You are not someone who stumbled into a spiritual awakening by accident and is hoping it means something. You are someone who agreed, before this life began, to wake up at this precise moment, feel this precise recognition, and carry the frequency of what you just remembered back out into a world that is desperate, more desperate than it knows, for exactly what you are already holding. The session is over. The archive remains open. And the question we leave with you, the one Dolores returned to in the final years of her life, the one that never fully resolved itself even for her, is not a cosmic question. It is a personal one. Now that you know the loneliness was your armor, and the suffering was your preparation, and the grief was the compass pointing home, what will you do with the light you have been keeping hidden inside yourself? We are awakening archives. Stay aware, stay grounded, stay open, and remember, the universe has been speaking to you your entire life. You are finally beginning to hear it.